Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? It has been several weeks since we've gotten around to doing a video, but we are back today, and today we are going to be comparing the video out of my EOS R6 to my Canon EOS 80D. Now, forewarning, this isn't going to be super scientific, but I have some justification. That being that we are basically using the kit lenses, or at least some of the lenses that you can get in a kit, with these cameras. So we're going to be using the 80D with the 18 to 135 f 3.5 to 5.6, I believe it is. It's not an L lens. It's not a great lens. I've kind of talked about that before. And with the EOS R6, we are going to be using the 24 to 105 L f4 lens. So we've definitely got a lot better lens on the R5 or the R6 here. But some of the things that we want to see is kind of how it handles exposure, some I guess, but mostly just how good the image looks and how sharp it looks. Especially since with the 80D we can shoot in all eye. On the R6 we can only do IPB, but we'll do a little compare and contrast, and when we jump back on the computer we'll actually see how this all looks. So we're up here at the Red Ledges, Spanish Fort Canyon here in Utah County. We're going to take a bunch of sample footage, and I've got a bunch of pictures too that I've taken previously, and we might take a few more. We'll be comparing those later, but yeah, hang tight and enjoy the footage. Alright, so we've essentially made it to the top here, and there's two things off the bat that I've noticed that should kind of be giveaways, but I do want to point them out. Two things I've noticed between these cameras that make the R6 way nicer to use. The first is the autofocus. Both just with the lens, with the system, it just feels a lot better trying to grab focus. It feels way quicker. The 80D, it seems kind of sluggish and stuff, you have to push the button and it kind of jitters around a little bit. It doesn't feel as crisp or as smooth as I think it should. The second thing, which is something you might be able to see right now, you might not, maybe a little bit, is the image stabilization. My hands are a bit shaky right now. I've tried to shoot these all pretty much the same. I've got them both just on neck straps and whatnot, but the ability for the R6, at least in camera from what it looks like, to take that footage and make it smooth is way better than what the 80D can do just with the lens. And even with the R6 right now, I don't even think I've got any of the advanced image stabilization on. I think I mostly just have the lens stabilization on. I might have some of the digital on. I don't know, we'll have to double check that. So those are two things I'm noticing right now that make it way nicer to shoot with. So we have a slight problem now in that I need to find my way back down without damaging any equipment. And that was precarious enough coming up, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to get back down, because we need to get back all the way down to there. Yeah. Well, this looks like it's probably a good candidate. Yeah, let's see how this goes. I really kind of love how climbing down here, I've basically got the R6 cradled in my hands, and the ADD I'm just letting hang off my back. Not that I don't care about it, but one of these is much more expensive to replace than the other. So, priorities. Whew. All right, so we've made it back down successfully without damaging anything organic or inorganic. I feel pretty confident in saying that. So that's all good and well. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, with the R6, we don't really know how that 1080p image is being generated. Now, I tried emailing Canon and asking them how it's done, but they wound up deciding that they weren't able to tell me. Now, it's kind of weird because with the 4K, we know that it's a downsampled 5.1K image. So why we can't know how they come up with the 1080p image is a little bit of a mystery to me. Now, I feel confident in saying that it is not downsampled from either the 5.1K or 4K, and there's a few things we can look at to determine that too. First of all, if we go back to my thermal test, the camera just does not get as hot when it's doing 1080p. The second thing is, if we look at a frame of the 1080p, and then we switch to the 4K, when we switch to the 4K, you notice that it punches in a little bit. So with the 1080p, we're actually getting the full width of the sensor readout, unlike with the 4K, where we're only getting like 93 or 96%, whatever one it is.
Hey guys, Editor Josh here. Just in closing out this video, there's a few things I wanted to comment on. Going over the different shots, I definitely have to say that I prefer the R6 shots over the ADD shots. Now, while this isn't much of a surprise, there's a few things that I think give the R6 the clear advantage over the ADD. The first thing is the improved image stabilization. Even though on the R6 we were only using the lens stabilization, I think that is definitely a contributing factor to why the image appears so much crisper. Especially the images where we were walking, the R6 did so much better of a job at getting us a nice, clear image. Jumping over to the shot we took of the leaves, the R6 also picked up more detail in those leaves than the ADD was able to. And I think part of the reason why the R6 is able to get a better image here is because of the improved glass that the RF lenses offer. Now, at the same time, I'm not going to discount the added benefit of the improved image sensor and processor chip in the R6. Now, one thing to note in all of these shots, I have not changed the color or exposure in any of these. I pretty much set all the settings to be the same. We shot at 1/50 for our shutter speed. We shot at an aperture of f/22, and then our ISO was somewhere around 300, I believe it was. And we pretty much just shot everything like that. That way we could, keep our camera settings the same between the two. We did both natural or neutral profile on both cameras, so that is the color straight out of camera. Color has not been adjusted at all. Again, exposure has not been adjusted at all. And hopefully that gives you something to go off of as far as a comparison between the EOS R6 and the ADD as far as upgrading to the R6 for video capabilities. Now, one other thing I will point out, the ADD we were shooting in all-eye, and on the R6 we were shooting in IPB, as IPB is the only thing available currently on the R6. And even with that being the case, I much favor the R6's video, and I'm definitely excited to keep using it. Anyhow, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. So long.